Hey, welcome to another great episode of The Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back. New week. It is Monday, October 6th. And like I said, it's beginning of October. So I hope everyone is enjoying the start of their new week as well. But before we get started, I got a great guest coming up. But let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode. Happy Monday of the Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Hardin. Glad to be back with more great guests and episodes upcoming this week. But you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We're on the BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network Roku channel. Wherever you get your podcast, you can follow the network there and get all the episodes on those platforms. iHeartRadio, Spreaker, download all the apps there, and you can follow me on all the social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, and TikTok. All right, well, let me bring in my guest. I'm very excited to have her on. We got a couple things in common. We love music and sneakers, so I know that's two good things there. But I'm going to bring in Tiona Deniece. She is a singer, songwriter, host, sneaker influencer, creative. Am I missing anything there? I think you do a little bit of everything. So
I do a little bit of everything. Maybe you can add in like hat designer of sorts.
Yes, hat designer as well. Yes, always got the dope hats, the kicks. If you follow her on Instagram, you know she's and got her hat and everything too, hands on it and everything too. So, Tiona, welcome to the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Great. And I know you've been very busy. We've been trying to get this going over the last few weeks, or probably month or
Yeah.
so. But I know busy's good, and I'm glad we got a little bit of time and to lock it down. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. But I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am good, just trying to stay busy and
Yes, yes,
succeeding at that. So,
yes,
but like I
yes.
said before, I'd rather be busy than not, so I'll take it.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, being busy and you traveling. Like before we started recording, you're like, I'm traveling. I got another thing going, and but it's all good. But we finally made it work. So again, I can't thank you enough for doing this. So I really appreciate the time. And but let's get started. I always ask my first time guest who's on the show, who is Tiona Deniece, and how you get into where you are today.
oh man, so who am I? I ask myself that question almost every day. So
Yeah.
I am a singer-songwriter. I'm a content creator. I'm also a host, and I do some philanthropy work in the community as well as you can add hat designer. This isn't one of my designs, but hat designer to the repertoire as well too. I love sneakers, so a lot of my content is sneaker based. But I love content period. So whether it's lifestyle, sneakers, fashion, all of the things. And how did I get to this point? Honestly, that's a great question because I just wanted to be a singer for a very long time. I've always been into sneakers, loved fashion ever since I moved from Buffalo to New York City. That's how I fell in love with fashion. But I didn't think that I would ever be here in this
Mm,
realm. I just knew I was just going to be a singer, and that was really it. But what's funny is life always comes full circle because
yeah.
as a little girl, I worked in Foot Locker, worked for Lady Foot Locker as a little girl, as a teenager rather. And then I went to school for public relations, and I wanted to do stuff within sports, within the WNBA. That's what I loved. And obviously, I set my sights on music, even though I love sport and all things communication and hosting and things. But I just never thought that I would come back to this and be able to tie all of those things in with my
Yeah.
love for music and sneakers and fashion and all of that. So full circle. It's crazy.
Yeah, full circle for sure. And it's interesting too because they all intertwine in any way,
Yeah,
music, fashion, sneakers. I mean, if you grew up in like the 90s or even 2000s, but I grew up in the 90s or 80s, 90s, but the 90s for sure. And it all intertwines sneakers and fashion
for sure. Yeah,
and music and things like that. So like I said, and the thing is too, it is all coming full circle. Things things have changed over the years, of course, but that is interesting. But I want to get into some of your background. You said it, singer songwriter. Um, what made you get into the music, and how would you define your music style and singing?
sure. So I would define my music as R&B, with a little bit of street and a little bit of soul. So mixing those two
Okay.
together. How I
Hmm.
got into music, I've always been into music. So as
Yeah.
I tell the story that I came out the womb singing, and that's just kind of like been a part of my life.
Yeah.
So that's just me. I've just always been a singer, always been into music. I remember being a little girl at the lunch table and taking popular songs and remixing them and to make my friends laugh. And that was just something that I just always did. And I turned that into poetry, and then I turned that into songwriting. And again, I just always loved singing, being around music. I grew up in the church, so obviously I was in the church choir. So it's just been a major part of my life, all my life.
Yeah, yes, and you said we grow up listening to music and things like that, and you said R&B. So who were some of your favorite artists growing up in R&B, R&B soul, and also like even today? I know music has definitely has changed from back in the day,
Yeah.
but who were some of your favorite artists growing up?
One of my all-time favorite artists is Whitney Houston. I think she's phenomenal and is probably one of the best vocalists ever.
Yes,
Love
hands down.
Brandy. Yeah, hands down for sure. Love
Yeah.
Brandy. Her voice is just her tone, everything. She's just amazing. I call her the vocal Bible. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I love some of the older artists too, like Patti LaBelle, like Gladys Knight. I listen to a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
When we talk about R&B music now, I think some of my favorite. I listen to a lot of older stuff, so a lot of the newer stuff, eh, I like some of it. Some of it I just don't really gravitate to. But there are some artists like I feel like Elmine is fire. He's one of my favorite artists. Sasha Keeble, I think I'm saying her last name wrong, but she's in the UK. I think she's phenomenally fire. Um, and there's like sprinkles of other artists that I really love, like Jasmine Sullivan. Her voice is insane. Like there's
Yeah.
other artists that I really that I rock with for sure.
No doubt, yeah. I mean, Whitney, Brandy, Patti LaBelle. I mean,
Amazing.
I mean, just different. I mean, amazing voices, vocalists, and everything too. There's a couple. I mean, definitely Whitney. Always loved Brandy. I love Monica as
Monica
well.
as well. Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, vocally. And they're all different. You said Patty. They said another vocalist, strong voice and everything too. Yeah, so there's a range of different singers that you like. I enjoy all four of those singers that you named as well. So, but as you as a songwriter, talk about your creative process when you're writing and you're writing and creative when you're working with other artists and for yourself.
Um, for me, a lot of it starts with poetry, and I think that's like the root of how I got into songwriting. And I do a lot of like stream of consciousness stuff too. So
Okay.
I just allow my mind to wander. Like I might be triggered by something that I've seen or heard or feeling in a moment. And then I just stream of conscious. I just write it. And I'm
Yeah.
old school too, so I still write stuff down.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
then I also use like voice notes. I also use like my phone, obviously, and write things in there too, like when I'm out and about and something may hit me. But a lot of it comes from like experience. I write a lot from experience. And I work with a team of writers as well too, and we just look at my when we're writing about something for myself, we look at like something that I may have gone through or something that I've seen or my opinion on something, and
Yeah.
then we write from there. And then I also really love melody, so I'll hear a beat, I'll think of a melody, and that helps me to form words, if that makes sense. So it's a bunch
Yeah.
of different things that I do, and then I'll go back and I'll call upon some of that poetry that I've written in the past and see how some of that can link into the melody that I created.
That's dope. I like that. And I've always enjoyed the songwriting elements of when, when I grew up too, I just listened with my mom and just listened to so much music. And I used to be a big, huge hip hop head and R&B and things
Yeah,
like that and everything. So I've always enjoyed, like you said, enjoyed um, the storytelling and the writing aspect of it, because I really feel like that's, people love the beats and the melodies and the
yeah,
choruses, but the song structure of the song is what, to me, what makes the music too. And by the sounds of it, it's the same with you. It's like the melody, but the songwriting aspect of it is what makes the music really good.
for sure. I absolutely
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, for sure. And last of this, what story do you hope to tell through your music?
A couple things. I think
Okay.
one, empowerment.
Mm,
Uh, that you can overcome things, that you're more than just what people see of you. Um, and then also love. And
okay.
when I talk about love, I mean different types of love, like love for yourself, love for your significant other, and then love from like with my last album, that I did with Flea Lord Mask and Glove, it was about love, but it was like that street kind of love, that gritty love, that we might fight, we might, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna ride out for you because you would do that for me, and we're in this, we're locked in, we're doing this together. So, you know, love is paramount to me. I'm a huge romantic, so
Okay.
I love love, So I
Yeah.
definitely want to portray that. And I feel like sometimes in music lately, no one really talks about love. Like they just talk about sex. And
Mm.
I mean, there's a place for that, right? I'm not saying that it's not,
Right.
but
Right.
no one talks about like love, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk, like, people really are out here loving one another. People are really in good relationships. Even if it's like a ghetto relationship, it still could be a good relationship. Like, we need to talk about those stories because they're true and they are out there, and those need to be told as well. People need to know what it feels like to be in love and to feel safe.
Yeah, for sure. And at point in the world, we need love for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we do.
You
We need a
know,
lot.
you need a lot of it, right? Yes, yes, I'm with you on that. Like it's necessary, it's needed, and because a
Yeah,
lot of
for
this
sure.
what's is going on, there's so much hate on throughout the world, and we definitely
I
need
hate
some
that.
love.
We
Yeah,
need to understand, we need to get to a better understanding, like we need to just understand each other better. Like it's okay to have different opinions, like
yes,
that's
yeah,
we all have different shared experiences, learned experiences,
hmm,
different experiences, like that's cool. But just because my opinion is different from your opinion does not mean that it's wrong,
yep,
and that doesn't make it a fact. An opinion is
yeah,
not a fact. Those are two totally
yes.
different things. And I feel like a lot of us, there's people out here that if I say the sky is green, it's green because I said it's green. But that's not a fact. That is what you
Right.
think.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love the day when we could finally have that conversation. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, we said we all come from different backgrounds and we disagree on a lot of things, but it's like it doesn't make, like you said, one right or wrong. It's just more of
no, it's just
just
different. That's
it's
it.
just different. Yeah, and we can move on. Like you said, we disagree on something, we move on and everything too. So, but we got a couple of comments in the chat here. Nathan Ramasandra from Nathan Sports says hello. He said, keep up the great work. And he has a question
I
for you. Well, he says storytelling is definitely key to everything. I agree with that.
agree.
He said, "What's your favorite moment? What's the favorite moment
Favorite
in your
moment of my
career
career?
so
Sheesh.
far?"
I've had so many. I've had so many amazing experiences that this is a hard question because I've had a lot. But I can say one thing. I never got a chance to meet Whitney Houston.
Hmm.
Never got a chance to meet her. The day that I was supposed to go to the Clive Davis party, where she was going to be at in LA, we
Mhm.
were out there. We were going to go. That was the day that she passed. So never got a chance to meet her.
Oh,
But years later, I actually got to meet her mother,
oh, okay.
and I got to
Okay.
meet Dionne Warwick, and that was
Mhm.
and to tell Sissy Houston how much I loved her daughter and how much of an impact she had on my career and my life at that time meant so much for me, so much to me, and for her to say thank you. You know what I mean? And for her to hug
Yeah.
me and like to have that moment with her, that even though I didn't get to meet you, sister, I got to meet your mama. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was probably like one of the best moments. I would say one of the best moments in my career for sure.
All right, that's very cool, and that's I mean it's that's such an amazing moment, as you said,
Yeah,
to be able to meet one of your favorite artists, but meet her mother, and Dionne Warwick. I mean, legendary legends, in
legends. Like, oh my
the
God,
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
legends in the game and in music in general. So yeah, I'm sure that was an amazing moment as well. All right, let's get into, 'cause like I said, I know we got a little bit of time, so let's get into some sneakers as well. Gotta
Okay,
talk kicks and everything
got
too. So
it.
yeah, gotta talk some kicks. But what sparked your passion for sneakers and fashion? You kind of alluded a little bit just growing up and how it intertwines with your music. But what sparked your passion for it and continue to this day?
Um, I've just always I was an athlete growing up
Hmm.
as a kid. I played soccer, I played basketball, I tried to play softball a little bit. I tried to play tennis a little bit, was not good at either one of those. So basketball and soccer were my sports. And that just kind of sparked it for me because obviously we had to wear tennis shoes. And then
Yeah.
that was just so I was always a tomboy growing up. That was just something that I just loved to wear baggy clothes, Nike everything. I was one of the only
Mm.
girls in my neighborhood who had a basketball court in my backyard.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was just me. And that was just always a part of my life. And when I moved to New York from Buffalo, I really got into fashion. I didn't start carrying a handbag until I was like maybe 20 years old. Like if it
Okay.
didn't come in my pocket, like if it didn't fit, it didn't go. Like that was it. And then when I moved to New York, I like fell in love with like fashion, which is easy to do because it's New York, right? So
Yeah.
just being
Yes.
around, being in Harlem, like watching how people dress and how they put things together, I just found that to be so astounding and so fun. And so it drove me to want to wear heels. It drove me to want to put together handbags. And then I went from like regular handbags to like designer and understanding different leathers and how
Right.
people do that. And I just fell in love with it. I was enamored by the whole thing and wanting to be a part of that. And then, again, wearing heels, all that thing. And then I was like, I want to go back to my sneakers now. This is cool, and I like having the balance. But
Yeah.
sneakers has always been like my thing, and what drives me now is just I'm seeing so much, like so many people, like it's just the community that I have and the
Mm.
community, the sneakerhead community as a whole is what keeps me going. I mean, I'm always gonna love sneakers. I'm always gonna love putting that shit on. Like that's just what I do and who I am and who I've been, who I've become. But the community is really what helps me to keep me going. And I have such
Yeah.
a great like the sneaker community is such a great community, and there's so many different parts and facets and places where you can fit into it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And to a certain degree, a lot of us are welcoming. There's ways you can talk about that, but that's another conversation for another time.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Um,
I get it. Totally get
but
that.
it's just the community is a huge part of why I do what I do, and being able to like inspire other young people that want to do something similar to what I do, and showing them that you don't have to just do one thing. Like if you're good at other things, like embrace it and just do it and make it work for you.
Yeah. I love that. I love the community part, especially you said with the sneaker community. And you said, yeah, there's some welcoming. There's some that's a whole other conversation when it
I
comes to
mean,
sneaker
you're gonna have your good
community.
and bad, so it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
is
for
what it
sure.
is.
Yeah, yeah, and I've interviewed people from the sneaker community and be a part of it too as well. Just because like I said, I've loved sneakers since I was young too, and you see it's changed over the years, and that was going to be one of my questions too.
Yeah.
How has sneaker culture changed over the years in your eyes, from what you've seen as you were growing up into what it is today? And you said pricing has changed, the way people get sneakers has
Pricing has
changed.
absolutely changed. Absolutely.
So yeah,
Social media has a lot to do with that.
influencer.
Social
Yep.
media has
Mhm.
changed the landscape of so many different things.
Yeah.
And like I was just buying shoes because I liked them.
Yes.
Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just
Yep.
like a shoe. I
Hmm.
didn't care. like I didn't care what the hell it was. If it was fly, it was fly,
Yeah.
and I wanted it. And now it's almost like the things that people back then, like everybody was crazy about Jordans, and I mean they still are to a certain degree now. But now you're seeing the emergence of other brands that most people weren't really into like that unless you lived in certain parts of the country. But
Yeah.
like you got your New Balances, your Saucony, even Asics, like you're starting to see those become more popular in other areas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you wouldn't really see people rocking New Balances like that unless you lived in
Yeah.
a place where like, like DMV or something like that, where there were a lot of that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So now
Right.
we're starting to see different places, pick up different things. And like the younger generation, like they want comfort. Like they don't really
Mhm.
give a shit what the shoe looks like. If it's comfortable, let me hold that. So you'll see a lot of Asics, you'll see a lot of Saucony, and it's cool to see like them embracing other brands. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, I like that what you just said about just seeing a lot of different. Yes, people still good, Jordans, Nikes, and everything too. But you said the New Balance, they've come back. Puma, you see
Yeah,
that a lot.
Puma.
You
Yeah,
see, you see,
absolutely.
you see a lot of these different types of brands that were back in, like Puma was back in the day. They said Asics and New Balance, and now it's come full circle again. Adidas as well. You see the Sambas has like been huge everywhere.
Adidas, absolutely. Sambas is like, oh my god. I don't even
Yeah,
own a pair of Sambas, but I do have a pair of Superstars though. Like
yeah,
as
yeah,
my
right.
shoe. But
hmm
yeah,
Yep, yep. So it is good
it's
to
crazy.
see. It is good to see a lot of different brands of sneakers, and you said social media has influenced a lot of it too.
For
And
sure.
for good and good, there's good and bad. Like you said, but just that's just in general. But it's good to see when you go to different cities and different places who's rocking what's the brands and things like that. I love seeing
Yeah.
that as well. But like you said, yeah, pricing has changed a lot now. Before you said now I'm more for comfort now than just the fashion. So if it's comfortable, I'm gonna get it. If I get it, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
it. If I like it, I like it. That's changed a lot too, as well. So, but just two more before I let you go. You talked about the fashion. How would you define your fashion style? And talk a little bit about more about your designing of the hats. I'm really interested in that.
Sure. So when it comes to like my fashion and like how I would call my
Define it.
dressing
Yeah.
style, I
Yeah.
would say like tomboy chic.
Okay.
So like
I like
I like
that. I love that.
I love a hoodie, like, and now I've been
Mm,
really, really into like zip up hoodies. I what I got on right now.
right,
I
right.
absolutely love them. You can dress them up, dress them down. I like having like what you'll see is when you see like a lot of my styling content, it is mixing feminine and masculine pieces and putting them together. So it has that tomboy, but it still has that girly factor in it too. And just playing around with like texture and again that masculine feminine balance. In terms of like my hat club, so I am a hat club ambassador, and I have designed 4 hats so far
Okay.
with Hat Club. All 4 of them are sold out though. All 4 of them are sold out. So I
That's
apologize in
good.
advance if you try to get them.
No, that's good.
And
They're
I got
buying
two
it
more
up.
coming
Yes.
in December that I'm very excited about. So I've always wanted to dabble in design. So I love the fact that I've been able to do that with Hat Club. And I'm excited to see like what next year is going to bring. I have some really crazy ideas that I'm hoping to bring to the light. So hopefully next year we'll start to see a little bit more of that. But I love wearing a good hat. Um, and Hat Club has allowed me to again play around with design it's and adding in story and the storytelling aspect of it
Mm,
too, and adding in
yeah,
my music and different elements, sneakers, all those things. So I've been able to do that with my designs with Hat Club, which I absolutely love.
absolutely. Yeah, I love that you said with Hat Club being a brand, you're the brand ambassador for it, and just seeing we talked about the relationship between sneakers and the hats and music and it goes to show you said you're telling a story and it looks like that's very important to you, that storytelling element,
Yeah, for
whatever
sure.
everything you're doing to where you are today, as you said, it's all about storytelling. So that seems like that's very important to you.
Absolutely. I think storytelling is coming back, and I
Yeah.
love that because I want to hear the backstory. That helps me to become more like entrenched in whatever it is that you're selling. Now I
Mm,
understand why. so it ties it all together, especially if it's something that is relatable, right? And I try
Yeah.
to make a lot of the things I do relatable for not just men, not just women, not just Black people, like for everyone that wants to be a part of the culture. Like I try to make things relatable.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I love it. I love it. All right, last question. I want to talk a little bit about your philanthropy work and your mentorship.
Okay.
And you founded Tough Diamonds to mentor young women. Talk about a little bit about your philanthropy work and how important it is to mentor and inspire young women who wants to get into fashion and music and sneakers and everything else. But talk about how important that is to you.
It's super important to me. I
Mhm.
love when I started Tough Diamonds, I did it as a way to bring together women of all ages. It wasn't just for young
Yeah.
women, it was for all women that wanted to have a better relationship with themselves. Because I find that we always tear ourselves down, like, oh, I hate my nose. Oh, I wish this about myself. But what about the things that we love about ourselves? Like, let's talk about that. And that's why I started Tough Diamonds. And the mentoring piece came along with that because it starts from when you're young.
Yeah.
And I love kids. I love them, love them, love them. And being able to do what I've done with Girls Inc., just being there as a mentor, like helping them to understand what it means to be a good friend or what it means to be a good role model. What is a good role model? And the girls that I've worked with are so smart. They're so dope. Like, I love them. And
Yeah.
we recently, with my partnership with Soul Play, we were able to win an award behind that from Girls
Okay.
Inc.
All right.
As like a collaborator of the year last year, and that was awesome. That was like such a great moment because it was something that I hold to my heart, and being able to partner with Soul Play and Soul Play Her, and being able to kind of like bring them in and us do that together was like a really great experience. What we did was we went show the girls how to create their own sneakers, so helping them with
Mm.
design, helping them to understand color, story, all of those things. So great partnership. Very excited to see again what we're gonna do for the rest of the year and next year.
All right, well, that's dope. I love seeing that. I just love seeing that when people are putting in that type of work, and it's like I said, it's very important to you mentorship and just with young women, and they're able to look up to someone like you to be able to say, hey, I could do this too. If Tiana can do it, I can do this too. And you're helping out with that, with all the things you got going on. So I really appreciate this conversation, the time, and I hope we could do this again and we can really dive into
Absolutely.
more in this because I find
Let's do it.
I love what you're doing, and like I said, I've been watching a lot of your content for a while anyway, and it's dope at what you're doing. So continued success and many blessings to you and everything what you got going on. And let everyone know they can actually follow you on social media. Want to reach out, ask a question, or they say, or get into. They said maybe get into some of the mentorship that you're doing as well. But yeah, let everyone know they can follow your content.
Absolutely. I'm Tiana Deniece on pretty much everything.
Yeah,
So my name is pretty much how you'll be able to find most of my stuff. If you do have any questions that you have for me, please DM me on Instagram. It might take me a second to get to it, but I promise you I'll respond at some point. But
yeah,
just know I'm a little busy, but I promise that I will read it. I will take a look at it, and I will respond. So especially if it's about mentorship or anything like that. I actually just had a conversation with a young man the other day who's interested in me helping them, and I'm like, yeah, for sure, like let's figure it out. But I want to thank you so much, Courtney. This was fun. Yes,
yeah.
we do need to do this again when I'm not in the middle of a windstorm and I'm not sitting in my car. But I'm
Right. Oh,
totally down to
yeah.
do this again. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, and many blessings to you and to
Thank
everybody
you.
out there that is watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope this was
Yes.
intriguing and fun.
Yes. I
But
yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
cut
appreciate
out,
it.
y'all.
Yes, I appreciate it. You. Thanks you, and talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right. That was Tiana Deniece. Can't thank her enough. Singer, songwriter, sneaker influencer, um, philanthropist, content creator. She does a little bit of everything. So thank you again to everyone tuning in. I got another show coming up in the next half an hour. So be on the lookout for that. And I appreciate everyone that tuned in. So as always, peace. God bless.